Hello, everyone, and welcome to Dice to Roll, the queerest Pathfinder podcast on the planet, where we used to hear questions like, how long after death does a mummy become a mummy?
I'm sure there's like a real world answer for that, but I feel like in Pathfinder, it's got to be like, you got to like earn it, right? Like, I mean, I guess you got mummified or whatever, but like, I don't know, like, I'd say like 200 years.
So, for context, we were trying to figure out what the hard question would be before the session, and you pitched this because this was like a real question you had.
I did, because I don't know.
And then the moment you talked about mummies, Dave started hyperventilating and salivating and grabbing and biting and snarling because this is special interest. He fucking loves mummification.
I do.
He busted my lip.
And I mean, there's answers, but I want to see Dave go crazy about this. So, mon frere, the floor is yours. Tell us about mummies.
I don't think it's like a time thing. Or, I mean, I suppose, I feel like the mummification process would just need to have finished and then maybe give it a day for, because I don't think that unless it's like, oh, I've casted, like, raise undead and here come the zombies. Like, if something is just going to become undead and it's not, like, actively, like, like the spells that you cast that only lasted a little bit of time.
Mm-hmm.
If it's just, like, the concept of somebody is going to become permanently undead, I think it would just take, like, a day for that to happen, but it would have to be after the mummification process happens, which is distinct, I think, from zombies, because zombies are decomposing and mummies are not.
Mm-hmm. Well, I have the lore for how you become a mummy in Golarion, if that, like, helps, right?
What is it?
Well, basically, a mummy is an undead that is formed after a corpse absorbs all the moisture from the area around it, right?
Oh, like natural mummies?
Yeah, because, like, obviously you can become, like, a scary Egyptian mummy wrapped in bandages.
Well, that's the mummy I'm talking about.
But there's other types of mummies.
I know there's other types of mummies.
There's mountain mummies. There's swamp mummies.
You're just making shit up.
No, these are actually the options. Arctic, desert, mountain, swamp. Those are the options. You can be any of those.
I would have preferred if they used the word bog, but I'll take it.
Yeah, bog is better. Bog mummies are real, and I respect them. Mountain
mummies are very real. I think they even exist straight up on the I cannot think of the mountain. Like the mountain that people climb.
Everest?
I'm pretty sure that they exist on Mount Everest.
Yeah.
So, my question... Okay, Dave, you know shit.
Yes.
How long does the mummification process take in real life?
5 million years.
That depends on the type of mummy. Because the Egyptian kind, the one that is on purpose happening because it is the way... Like, it is the way that you would preserve a body. The same way that, like, people today do that. That takes, I'm pretty sure, like, a while. Because it involves, like... putting the body in salt and having the salt, natrum salt, like, absorb all moisture from the body.
Yeah.
Which takes, I think, like, Jesus, I think it takes a month? Let me look it up really quickly.
My God. Imagine being in salt for a fucking month.
My question is, what happens if you come back to life before the mummification process is done?
I guess you aren't a mummy then.
Well, I think that like, the mummification process took 70 days. For Egyptian mummies specifically, by the way.
Okay.
Because it was very streamlined. I mean, they have priests doing this stuff. But I feel like if it was in the middle of it, it'd need to be a spell that also restores hit points because things are no longer inside of your body. Because the mummification process, that involves, like, the steps to making a mummy involve removing all of the organs.
You take your brain out.
My favorite thing, by the way, about mummies specifically, is because, like, it can just happen. If you're in a bog, you fall, and then you might be risen by negative energy. There's in Golarion stories of mummies getting back up, being like, "Huh, weird. Oh, my skin's all dry. That sucks. Anyway, I'm going to go home now." And just fucking shambling back home, and the family being like, "Oh my God." And they're like, "Hey guys, what's going on?"
That's hilarious.
Why you guys look so afraid? God, I could go for some moisture right now. I also think it's really funny that mummies are all weak to fire, because come on.
Well, I mean,
Hilarious.
they're either completely dried out or or they're a bog body, which is,
I mean, it's also they're basically like.
Well, they're not dried out. But they are. They're a different flammable substance.
They're bogged out. Bogged out of their mind.
This hard question is really funny because I think it is the first hard question we've ever done, which is purely educational. We all came out learning something.
I already knew it.
Yeah.
I've known it since I was 7, so thank you.
Pretty good.
The fact that I have since 7 remembered the specific type of salt used to make mummies is, I don't know why I didn't know I was autistic for so long.
Kind of funny.
I had multiple books on this subject.
Again, listeners, you can really just smell the autism coming off them.
I'm not hiding it.
Would we like to play some Pathfinder?
Yep.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Okay. So, when we last left our adventures in the Abomination Vaults, Fiore, Alrik, and Silk were facing off against a pair of basilisks deep in the arena of the Abomination Vaults. After overcoming the threat, reviving a statue which turned out to be a giant that died after leaving a cryptic message, the party went deeper into the vaults and uncovered a gladiatorial arena for which the floor was named after. There they encountered a Rakshasa named Master Cheerful, who bullied them into trying out the gladiatorial games in exchange for some treasures. The party each took on a one-on-one fight and barely escaped with their lives. After receiving these treasures, they returned home, but as they do so, they come knowing that today they have quite a dangerous task on their table. The next night, as the moon comes close to being full, the closest it can be before Jean Mesmin turns into a full werewolf, they will attempt to cure him of his lycanthropy and stop him from ever hurting anyone ever again. So, fellas, are we ready to rumble? Do you want to take on Jal after quite some time of preparing for this?
Yep.
Can we range check? I'm sure everyone's gonna be like fine with it.
Yeah, we'll do it another day. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Yeah. Maybe next month?
Yeah. He'll survive another month. It's fine.
Not next
Yeah.
month.
Fiore, Alrik, and Silk. The rain is drizzling down. Today is Star Day, the 28th of Desnus, and a waxing gibbous moon, which means we are right before the full moon. Today actually marks close to the 1 month mark since your adventures began. So much has happened since you entered into the vaults, but in so short a time. Today you're doing something extremely important. As you walk the paths of Otari, making your way up, out past Miller's Road, and beginning the long, winding path towards Stone Ring Pond, the rain clouds above almost entirely obscure the sky, and yet glowing behind it, the glimmer of the almost full moon waits. As you approach Stone Ring Pond, you can see all the druids are awake, all of them waiting outside. Jal Mesmin is inside one of those little beehive huts, and you are going to need to feed him wolfsbane. If he survives this, he will no longer be a werewolf. And if he dies, then he'll be dead. But something needs to happen tonight, because tomorrow, the full moon, he'll be at the height of his power. Today, the reason you're doing this today is because it's already so close to the full moon, he's going to be better at his saves against the poison. And the reason you want that is because wolfsbane is going to do a lot of damage to this man. You need him to be as ready to survive it as possible. And if he dies, well, very little value is lost. Already present at Stone Ring Pond is Kilano Latinar. He stands with a heavy bag, ready to see this pulled out to the end. Whether Jol dies or survives is very little, matters very little to him. He just wants to be here when it happens.
Mm-hmm.
How are the four of you doing as you approach Stone Ring Pond?
I feel like Silk is still... Maybe torn isn't the right word for it, but I feel like he's still a little, like, unpleasant about it.
Mm-hmm.
Silk doesn't especially love the idea of, like, people dying in general, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Shalmesman is a horrible, horrible man, and Silk hopes that he rots in his cell. But he is... The idea that your actions, obviously not his alone, but actions that you have taken will possibly lead to another, like, a human being dying is... It's heavy. No matter how bad of a person that other person is. That is still... That's a heavy thought to have on your mind, I think. This very well could be an execution site today. And Silk is aware of that.
Fiore, how are you doing?
I think he's uncomfortable because, I mean, this is not really the kind of situation that he likes to find himself in. He likes the heroics of fighting against somebody that is evil in a battle. Well, I mean, he doesn't like it, but you know what I mean. And right now it's more like he is making sure that he feels ready to help him, literally, like, because he does not want him to die. Not that he believes that he doesn't kind of deserve to die, it's just that he doesn't believe any person has the right to choose if somebody should live or die.
It's also, in total fairness, an easy way out, right?
Yeah. Plus, he's a Saren, right? So, his opinions on this sort of thing are always kind of different, I think.
Mm-hmm. And Alrik, how are you doing?
I think Alrik is mostly focused on, like, trying to make sure that this works. He is definitely in the camp of death is too easy for this person.
Mm-hmm.
And I think at this point also this is something that the druids are definitely going to help him with, but he's preparing this for this guy. If anyone is getting the most blood on their hands today, it's Alrik.
Kind of hot.
And I think you see Kilino there, and he, like, nods at you. I think your parents asked if they could come. And I think, more likely than not, you probably like, hey, man. Probably best you don't.
Yeah.
But, I mean, like, your parents are close to Kilino, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's a messy situation for you to be in.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Alrik was probably definitely had to convince them, like, you are potential targets. I don't know what I would do if either of you got caught in any of this, so maybe not.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I think it took some arguing, but I think they overall finally understood.
Yeah.
That being said, as you all approach, you see Sagek, the leader of the Stone Ring Pond Druids, that towering lizard folk man. He sees you all approaching, and he steps forward and says, Witch Helm, Sun Chaser, Alrik, are you all prepared for tonight?
As much as we'll ever be.
I envy you, then. We do not find ourselves prepared. It will be a difficult night, one way or another. But regardless of the outcome, I trust that the Fogfen Few will make sure that the night gives Otari closure. And as he says that, he kind of looks from you, Alrik, to Kielano, who's in the background and watching carefully.
We'll do everything we can to make sure that this goes right.
Would you like to step inside? He is difficult tonight.
I can imagine.
I think he senses something is going to happen. And I think he he holds out his hand for the wolfsbane, Alrik. Presumably you give it to him.
Alrik hands it over, yeah.
And he drops it into a cup of tea and stirs it a little bit. And he says, "Our 3 strongest druids, myself included, will aid in the healing. It is a mercy he does not deserve, but we will attempt to heal him together." And with that, the 3 of you are brought into Jean Mesman's room. The werewolf sits in his human form in the middle of the room. He has manacles around his ankles and his wrists. And he looks up at you with furrowed brows as he sees the 3 of you enter as well. And I think he's muzzled. I think he's got a gag on, right? Well, no, he can't. He has to drink the fucking thing.
They could take it off.
Bros.
Okay, dude. He has a gag. He's on his knees with his wrists bound behind him and his ankles bound too.
Damn.
Sigek gingerly pulls the gag off from behind, and Jal kind of gasps a little bit before looking up and says, Well. You 3 again. The Fogfen Few, or so I've been told. We never got introductions last time.
No, we didn't.
He looks all 3 of you up and down. And I think he looks at you, Alrik, and he kind of smells the air a little bit. He says, You. What was your name? Revra?
What of it?
You wouldn't happen to be the son of Edvin Revra, would you?
He tries so hard not to give him the harshest death glare.
Wasn't he seeing a little something? Kana, I think her name was. She was beautiful. You don't look quite like her, though. And then again, you don't look a lot like Edvin either. How is she doing, Kana?
That is none of your concern.
Oh, I think it will be. I'm going to eat you first, as soon as I break out these fucking manacles. And then I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to eat your fucking parents too. How does that sound, friend?
I think I'd rather like to see you choke on this first.
He raises an eyebrow. And I think Sigek brings the tea up to his face. And very quickly, Sigek brings that drink to his lips and forces him to drink. And I think he spits a little bit. But he furrows his brow, and then his eyes widen. And he really spits and out and says, What is that? What have you done?
I don't think Silk I don't think Silk dunks on him. I think rather Silk is kind of grabbed onto Ulrich's shirt in a kind of attempt to say, hey, it's okay.
Yeah, I think the main reason Alrik didn't deck him immediately is because of the precarious situation and trying to be as calm as possible. So he doesn't worry anyone, particularly Fiore and Silk.
I think Ulrich should have a pass to beat someone to death.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, he's close. He's real close.
Ulrich sees him getting low HP and he's like, fuck it, and he goes in with the punch.
Revenge.
I do think Alrik speaks up, though.
Mhm.
And they say, give it a moment. I'm sure you'll figure it out.
I think he immediately starts fucking trying to fight back, right? He's like shoving and snarling and snapping at you all. And this is where our little game is going to begin. It's going to be a crazy fucking night. So, Wolfsbane. It appears in folklore for its link to were creatures. If you are afflicted with lycanthropy and survive stage 3, you're immediately cured. He needs to make a fortitude save. It's a very high save. He needs to make it to stage 3 and survive. The poison takes 10 minutes to kick in. It can then last up to 6 minutes.
Okay. It's 10 rounds.
Yeah, not ideal to be frank.
Yeah, no. Jesus.
So, as he's going to start snarling and biting and trashing, for the first 10 minutes, to summarize it, I need you all to make me a check you think will help keep him in place for those first 10 minutes before the poison kicks in.
Athletics on Fiore's part, because athletics, he's very strong.
Yeah.
He's physically
yeah.
He's physically holding him down.
His gag has been put back in very quickly.
I hate this.
Unless one of you would like to make a check to put the gag back in.
I will not be doing that.
I don't know if Alrik would probably do that, but
Yeah, I'll have one of the druids do it, Dan.
Okay.
What about you two, though? What are you going to do to stop this guy?
Could I use crafting to maybe kind of make sure that none of those chains or manacles that are on him kind of lose their integrity, I guess?
Okay, sounds good to me. And Alrik, what would you like to roll?
I'm not sure if either medicine or nature would come into play, but I think Alrik is checking out how he's doing physically and trying to see how fast it's affecting him, I guess.
Okay, so I'll let you all make those checks. If you all succeed, then great, he does not escape.
Yay!
But also, you'll each get a little bonus to something in the actual... if you want exorcism, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, each of you make me that roll quickly, and then Jarl will make his fortitude save. Okay. So, what did you all roll?
24?
21.
I rolled a 26.
Okay. All of you keep an eye on him, and you all try hold him down. Silk, you keep an eye on the chains, and I think what this will do is it will raise the DC of any attempts he makes to escape during the exorcism by 1. And Fiore, on the flip side, you will lower his athletics by 1 during the whole ordeal.
Okay.
And Alrik, you, I think, will get a free reroll with one of your heal spells with your nature check.
Okay.
Because you are able to very quickly pinpoint exactly when the actual poison is kicking in. Okay? So, shall we begin? Because after a while, Alrik, you see purple going up his neck, and you're like, shit, here we go. It's go time. And I want you all to roll initiative. Actually, I think we can even use those as your initiative rolls, can't we?
Yeah.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, sure we could.
Oh shit! And Jarl rolled a nat 1 on his initiative.
Pretty bad.
Dang.
Pretty bad. First in the order is gonna be Fiore. Fiore, you can see that he's starting to struggle, but the poison hasn't kicked in yet. I think you're all basically going to have a chance to prepare an action before he starts, like, shaking as the lycanthropy in him is being kind of battled with.
Okay.
So, do you have an action you'd like to ready?
I think it would be maybe an action to, grapple him if he breaks free.
Okay.
Or something. That's what I have for now.
Okay. Silk, you're next. Alrik is giving you the alert. Oh shit, okay. The exorcism has begun.
Oh boy.
What are you preparing your action for?
I think I would like, to aid. If anything goes wrong with anyone else, I'd like to try and do my best to help them.
Okay. We'll say an aid check.
Yeah. Silk doesn't have a lot of, like, physical, like, strength things he can do, and he doesn't have any healing either. So really, I think this
Lightning
entire time,
bolt.
Silk... Lightning bolt! I think... I think this entire time, Silk is going to be playing, like, helper to both Alrik and Fiore.
You also have time sense, which you can tell the others how much time is left, and maybe that'll give you a bonus in this particular context.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
And Alrik, as Jal starts, I think Sagek has pulled the gag back on him, and he's shaking a little bit. You can see sweat starting to come down. The poison's taking effect. Are you preparing an action of any sort?
I think Alrik might be preparing a soothe.
Okay. For when he starts taking that damage?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we're going to start with Jal. Jal makes a fortitude save against the poison. Oh shit.
Oh my god.
That is a nat 1. Meaning we begin our 10 rounds.
On the worst foot possible.
Is it 10 rounds? I think it actually might be 100 rounds.
Not 100 rounds.
Oh god.
It's 60 rounds.
That'll be 60 rounds. Okay. Well, ideally, you'll cure him.
Ideally. Yeah.
You'll cure him once he gets to stage 3. So you'll have to start buffing his fortitude saves in a second. But that means he starts at stage 2. So he's going to start by taking 4d10 poison damage times 2. So that's going to be starting off... Oh, woof. That's 51 damage off the bat.
Good Jesus Lord.
You see Jal immediately double over in agony as the medicine inside him battles the monster that he's been harboring. And he shakes and snarls, and I think his first action is he's going to try to chew through the gag. And that is going to be a 36 against the rope. Yeah, that's going to be a crit. And he's going to start biting down. That is... Yeah, he fucking bites through that gag in one go. You see him snarl and plunge his fang, like his human teeth, he's still a human, through this rope, and it falls around, and he snarls and says, "You're gonna pay for what you're fucking doing." And he's gonna start making athletics checks to try break the fuck out from his manacles.
Okay.
Now, Fiore,
Okay.
as you are grabbing him, that's going to be a -1 to his roll. That is a 19. And so, since you've been watching the manacles to make sure that they're not being stressed in any way, and like telling people to give them a nudge whenever needed, that is going to be a miss. It doesn't work. He's going to try again, this time at a -6. And that is another fail. He's shaking, he's yanking at the chains, trying to get out, but no, it's not working. And we're at the top of the order again. Fiore, it is your turn. He took 51 damage there. You need to get him to stage 3, and then you need to make sure he doesn't die from it. You need to cure him. So, Fiore, what do you do?
He needs to not die as well. So keeping him alive will help, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think he's going to cast Lay on Hands on him.
Okay, go for it.
I don't know if this counts as like unwilling, but
I mean, I don't think he wants to die.
yeah.
I think he would like for this to help.
Yeah.
He just wants to do something once he gets out, and it's kill you and eat you.
Kill people.
So,
Well, he won't.
that's 18 healing, right?
Yep, just 18 healing. No rolls.
Okay. Now what? You've got 2 actions left.
I don't think that there's anything else that he particularly wants to do, because right now he's just focusing on keeping him alive and where he is. So I think he's going to continue withholding an action to re-restrain him if he breaks out.
Okay. Silk.
Hey.
What do you do, man? It's your turn.
I actually remembered that I have an item.
What's the item?
I have the Crying Angel pendant.
Oh, shit. Okay. What's the Crying Angel pendant do?
When you activate this alabaster pendant, attempt to administer first aid using medicine with a +1 item bonus to the check. If you succeed and you're trying to stabilize, the target gains 1 hit point, moves in the dying condition. Actually, this might only be for dead people.
This will be very helpful when he is down.
I'm gonna take it out.
Okay, you take it out, and you affix it. Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, I'm gonna affix it real
Okay.
quick.
So, Silk, you take a step back, eyes wide with horror, and you start fumbling. You pull out this little pendant, and you start... Where do you put it on your costume? Because it's got to go on your outfit somewhere.
Oh, you're right. He flips his hair back and he pins it to the collar of his capelet.
Okay. It looks great, and on your hat, Borbo peeks out and says,
Master Silk, this is a most nerve-wracking incident. Do you have healing magics?
I'm afraid I'm not that kind of wizard, Borbo.
Why not?
I don't think I'd have to be.
God.
Alrik, it's your turn. Jal, he's looking a little injured right now, right? He's not like immediately dying. He has a fairly big pool of HP. But that was a crit fail off the bat, and he was like really suffering under the medicine.
Yeah. I think Alrik might do like a level 1 soothe, maybe. Just to start. He's healing him a bit at a time, just in case.
Yeah, I mean, he's still at the start of it, so he's doing pretty okay at the moment.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, it's going to be Jal's turn again. He has to make another fortitude save, and that is going to be a success. So he gets up to stage 1. That's not good. If he gets to stage 0, then right now he hasn't been cured yet. If he shakes this off, then it will all have been for nothing. So he's going to take... Oh, wow! 18 poison damage. He flinches and he's struggling. He's just over 100 HP right now. And he shakes again, looks up and says, I'm gonna make you all scream. You have any idea what I can do to you? I'm a fucking monster. And he's gonna try shake out of manacles again. That is another athletics check. -1. 20, that's a fail. -6. Ooh. 32. -6, that is 26, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Silk, you who's keeping an eye on the manacles, you see a crack starting to form on the ones around his legs.
Oh my god. I think I'm gonna have Silk throw himself over that, try and fix that.
You have quick repair, right?
I do.
Sure. How long does quick repair work?
Let's check. Takes a minute.
I mean, you can start doing it to start countering it.
Yeah.
Are you master? No, you're not.
No, you have to be legendary to make it take an action.
Yeah. Well, you can start doing it quick.
Yeah, I'm gonna start doing that.
Okay. So basically the way it's going to be is I will let you roll crafting checks against what he's doing to undo his successes.
Okay.
Starting with this, because you prepared an action, right?
Mm-hmm.
So make me a crafting check.
24.
That particular time, it does work. So you are kind of like undoing some of the damage he's done. You're like, how are you fixing the manacles? Are you like holding shit together? Are you like soldering? What's the plan here?
You mean soldering?
Yeah, I don't know how it's pronounced.
Oh, soldering.
Cool.
Can you imagine? He takes out the fucking welding kit.
I mean, you have prestidigitation. You can kind of like use your crafting
I
to
know.
magic it better.
I just think it's funny. This is for Cass. Silk starts to weld. Yeah, he uses prestidigitation, I think.
Okay. Silk, you start to kind of hiss the stuff back. And Jal looks down at you. And he sees what you're doing, Silk. And he sees that you've gotten very nice and close.
Oh.
And Silk, I have bad news.
Oh no.
He starts to shake, but not in a way that you've been used to.
Yeah?
It sure does look like he's starting to kind of shake and tremble and start to have his skin ripple like there's fur coming out. And sure enough, his bones crack and reshape. His head lurches forward in length. And he's becoming a werewolf. He has taken on the shape of the werewolf.
You just love to put Silk in horrible, dangerous, life-threatening positions.
You're, in my defense, you are the one who did it this time.
I know. Silk gets that look where all the color drains from his face, and he gets like the blue, like splotch of color between his eyes.
Oh yeah. Well, Silk, you see him do this, and he roars, and he is immediately going to make a jaw strike at you.
Oh.
This will be at a -5, so that's going to be an 18 against you. What's up?
18 does not hit.
Jal's fangs snap right where your neck was a moment ago, and Bor was like, Master Silk!
He falls back on his ass. He's getting away from him.
Yeah, and Jal roars, says,
Come on, boy. It's been too long since I've had elf.
Absolutely not. Fuck this guy.
Fiore, it's your turn. Oh god. He almost got Silk. That was scary.
Just a little. Just a little. Okay. Well,
Right now, you need to make sure he gets the stage tree. So fucking over his saves is a good thing. Demoralize might help frighten him to lower his saves a little bit. If you have any way to reduce his saves, now's the time, right?
maybe intimidation.
Okay, would you like to demoralize him?
Yeah. I think that he says something along the lines of, it's like, I'm not going to let you die, but I'm also not going to let you run free. Today is making sure of that.
Okay, I like that. Make me that intimidation check. Holy shit, what is that?
30.
That's going to be a success. He looks at you, and for just a moment, you see him flinch. Evidently, he did not like the idea of not going free. So that's going to give him a -1 on his next save. And all his next attacks, which is quite nice. You have 2 actions left. Do you just want to watch and see, or what do you want to do?
Yeah, he's gonna continue holding his just in case, and that's it.
Okay. Silk, it's your turn. Oh, fuck.
Man. I don't think I have anything that could fuck over saves except for daze, but that does damage, and I don't want to do damage to him. And I think that's only will save also.
Yeah.
I don't have any fortitude spells, unfortunately. Is there any way that I could try and get close again without super catching, a face full of wolf teeth?
I mean, you can get in and then get out, right? You did fix what he damaged before. He hasn't tried breakout since.
Mm-hmm.
But, he's in werewolf mode, so...
Is there any way he could get one of the druids to re-gag him?
You can make a diplomacy check to be like, guys...
Yeah, I think Silk kind of shaken looks to one of the druids and is like, "But you please put that thing back on him."
The druid looks at you. I think it's like a halfling, and she looks up at you with a face. It's like, no, wanna. But make me a diplomacy check. Maybe you're charming enough to make her be like, "Fuck, I gotta."
It's like cape is like hanging off his shoulder. Ooh, 16.
I think she's like, if we get too close, he'll bite us, and then we'll have more werewolves on our hands.
Can that only? Oh, he is a wolf right now, isn't he?
Joel looks back at you and snarls, and he lets out. I think he does let out an awful howl in your face.
Oh.
You can save your actions for if he gets out or if he tries break anything again.
Yeah, I'm gonna save my actions till he breaks something again.
Okay. Alrik, it's your turn. Joel is... I mean, he's injured, but really the problem here is more like if he recovers from being poisoned before he hits stage 3, which I think with your nature check from before, you can tell it hasn't taken the full effect yet. He can't heal until he has hit stage 3. Otherwise, all this is for nothing, and tomorrow you got like a full moon-powered wolfman on the run in Otari.
I think Alrik pulls out his staff.
Okay, the Staff of the Dreamlands, right?
Yeah.
Okay, what do you do with it?
Phantasmal treasure?
Okay, tell me about Phantasmal Treasure.
A phantasmal image of the most precious thing imaginable to the target appears in a location of your choice with the spell's range. Only the spell's target can see the treasure, though you can see the vague shape of the treasure, be it a pile of items, a deific avatar, or a treasured loved one or hero. The target's response to the treasure is based on the outcome of the target's will save. On a success, he becomes fascinated with the treasure, and the duration is until the end of its turn. The target can also try to disbelieve the illusion if it touches the treasure, which he kind of can't. Not really.
Yeah, unless he escapes.
Yeah. Failure, the duration lasts for a minute, and crit fail. As a sex, but the duration is a minute. The target finds the treasure to be appealing until the spell ends. Yeah, so basically he's just fascinated with the thing, even if he succeeds.
Okay.
So hopefully he doesn't try to escape, maybe?
Hopefully. He's going to need to make a will save, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, that is going to be... Oh, shit, that's not good. That's a 20.
Nah, that don't cut it. So failure. So he becomes fascinated with whatever treasure he is looking at, and the duration is a minute.
Interesting. So he's fascinated, and you see a silhouette appear right, but like at the mouth of the door, and I think it is the silhouette of a woman.
Oh, good.
And I don't think it's a particular woman, but it's more like you can immediately guess that it's less a particular person and more the freedom to go back out and start doing what he did once upon a time. And he stares and he lets out a howl, and he is immediately trying to crawl towards it, right? So you guys are going to have to make sure that he can't touch it, because if that happens, he's going to start biting at you guys again.
Okay.
Great news, Silk. He's probably not going to bite you for a while because he's keeping an eye on this.
Hooray!
It is his turn now. Assuming you don't have a third action you want to do, Alrik.
I had to pull out the staff first, and that was too... And
True.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you have the Staff of the Dreamlands in your hands, and he is snarling and howling.
Yes, I want it. Give it to me. Let me free.
And he's going to make a fortitude save as he's crawling. Oh, shit, motherfucker. That's a 16. That's a crit fail, meaning, fellas, he's at stage 3. He jumps ahead 2 stages, and that is going to be 36 damage.
Oh.
Woof. Oh, shit. He's at 69 HP, baby.
Yay.
Let's go.
Everyone take a
Nice.
hero point.
Yippee!
He is squirming and crawling and going towards that. He's not trying. I mean, fascinated means that he can only. He has a -2 on perception checks and skill checks, and he can't use concentrate actions unless they are related to the subject of his fascination.
Mm-hmm.
So he could still bite you, but I think he's mostly preoccupied by getting to this thing. But to get to it, he's going to need to try break out from his manacles. And that's going to start with an athletics check to try to snap him. And that is a 21, -2 because he's frightened and because Fiore is kind of up in his business.
He's busy nasty.
He's not getting out. Next one. That's going to be another... That's a 21. It still doesn't work. With his last action, I think he's just going to try crawl.
Tonight, the public must crawl.
Fiore, do you want to try it, Legs, to pull him back?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
18.
I don't think it works. I think he's pushing past you. He's like literally flops forward, face on the floor, using his knees to propel him forward like he's literally slithering on the floor, shoving himself forward. I think he's only able to move maybe 5 feet like this. But the illusion's 15 feet away.
God damn.
So, watch out. Fiore, it is your turn again. He is looking really bad, but he's hit stage 3. Alrik lets you know the poison has taken effect. And you can actually see already the wolf-like features on him are twitching. He's like foaming at the mouth. You now need to make sure that he succeeds on his saves.
Okay, well, he's going to cast Lay on Hands again. The second time.
Okay. Fiore, you step forward and you lay on hands. And 18 HP? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah.
Incorrect.
Huh?
Oh?
There is a flash of light, Fiore, when you lay on hands. And it is so much more. It's almost for a second. Have you ever seen those fireworks that flash so bright that for a moment it looks like it's daytime?
Oh, yeah. I'm American, of course I have.
Fiore, for a moment, it is like the sun is shining, and it's the middle of the day. All of you wince for a moment, but as you come back, you see you haven't just healed him a little bit. You have healed him 72 HP, bringing him back to full HP.
What? That's what you're here. You literally hear him go, huh? What? 'Cause he knows how Lay on Hands is supposed to look and feel. Like, I assume that he can like feel the warmth of the sun, even when he's underground on his hand when he's casting it.
Yes.
So now he's like, what the actual hell is happening?
Fiore, make me a religion check.
I would love to.
Is it because we're rehabilitating him?
Kind of.
Rehabilitating him the only way we know how.
Forcefully.
It's a number.
Fiore,
Yep.
you recognize this as the minor boon of Sarenrae. Once, when you heal another creature, instead of healing it for the normal amount, you heal the creature to full hit points, no matter how much damage it has taken. Sarenrae typically grants its boons in extremely consequential circumstances.
Well, Fiore's gonna pass out.
A few days ago, you prayed in the Church of Sarenrae in Absalom, and I told you got this boon. Well, you used it.
Oh my god.
Jal is at full HP, he is unscathed. Now you just have to make sure he survives and is cured of the poison. And you can see that his wolf-like features are already starting to fade. His fangs look a little bit softer, and his eyes look a little bit less animalistic. And I don't think he's realized this yet.
Holy shit.
You have 2 actions? Well, no, you have 1 action left. I think the druids all look at you. Sagek, was raising his hand. They are ready to heal. They only have a little bit of healing each. But they were getting ready to step in because he was, below half HP. Well, turns out he didn't need to. Do you have anything else you want to do?
I think he's a little in shock. but I don't think that there's anything else for now. It's again, he's just waiting to see if he needs to do any. Like, he wants to continue saving an action just in case he needs to emergency tackle this man to the ground.
Okay. Silk, it is your turn. What do you do?
Hey, is it still like dire that he doesn't touch that vision?
I mean, it would probably be best because if he realizes, hey, that's actually bullshit what I'm seeing, it's an illusion, he will go back to biting you.
That's fair. I'm gonna keep him from getting to it then.
Okay.
I'm going to have Silk move behind him, about maybe 10 feet, kind of with all the other with all the druids, and he's going to cast gravitational pull.
Oh shit, okay, go for it.
Okay. I need fortitude save.
Okay. 13?
13 does not pass. He is pulled 10 feet towards me. I'm still 5 feet away from him.
Okay. Jal is yanked backwards into the cave, and like he turns around and stares at you, and he's fucking furious for a moment. And he snarls, and so do you have anything to say to him before he does anything?
I think he kind of nervously points forward and goes, ahead. Like the dog noise, like the...
Oh my fucking god. He gets angry at that, I think. He's gonna get pissed at you. Maybe
No!
you're like, oh, I'm taunting him.
Not my intention.
Alrik, it is your turn. Oh fuck. Jal is being dragged away from your illusion. Great. And towards Silk. Not great.
He's still 5 feet away.
He is at full HP, which is great. Now you need to cure him. You need to make sure he stops being sick.
I think Alrik immediately rushes towards Silk's side, which means that he is also 5 feet away from Jal right now.
No.
Yeah, Jal looks at you, and his eyes are, they're manic. He is an angry little guy.
And Alrik touches whatever body part probably won't thrash or bite at him immediately. Likely maybe his back or something, I don't know.
Okay, go for it.
Casts Cleanse Affliction at 3rd rank.
Oh shit! Okay. Oh, you motherfucker. Hey,
Smile.
what the fuck?
Smile.
Okay. So you're making a counter check against... Oh god, and because you're 3rd rank, it counteracts poison. Oh my god!
Smile.
Let's counteract this shit and see.
27.
Alrik Revra, how do you cure Jal Mesmin of lycanthropy?
I think because this man is thrashing a little bit, and also I will say it's partially because of the fucking the shit that he's been saying about his parents. He grips onto his shoulder. I think he kind of digs his fingers into his shoulder too, and yanks him towards him, and says, "This is so you can't hurt anyone any longer. Now you're half the monster that you think you are," and cleanses him.
Shining light erupts through Jal's body. And there is a flash of light, different to the flash of sunlight from before. And where there was a werewolf before, now there is only a man. And you've cured Jal Mesmin of lycanthropy. I think Jal immediately notices the change. He realizes something is missing, and he snarls, "What have you done? What did you do to me?"
We made it so that you can't hurt anybody anymore.
No. No, it was Wolfsbane. You used Wolfsbane on me.
Told you to figure it out.
Smarter than you look.
He looks fucking furious. And he does try to shake, but that supernatural power that was in him before, it's completely sapped away. He is not a monster anymore. Well, like you said, Alrik, he's half the monster he thought he was. And Sigek steps forward and says, "The full moon will rise tomorrow, and you will be able to do nothing about it." And he grabs Jaw and puts a fucking gag around him as the monster roars in anguish. And the two other druids kind of pull him to sit down, and Sigek follows you guys outside. And the three of you stand together with him, and with Kilano Latinar, who comes up and says, "So it's done. You did it."
It's done.
Yeah. Thankfully. And with no real trouble.
And I think Sigek looks at you and says, "On our own, this would have been nightmarishly hard to do. But you helped save us. You helped make things right. We thank you for this."
Of course. I just want to help.
And Kilno steps forward and he looks and says, "So he's never gonna turn into a wolfman ever again, yeah? That's it."
Not unless he somehow regained lycanthropy.
Sigek nods as he won't. He will stay within our care forever.
Okay.
And I think Kilano nods a little bit before he pulls you, Alrik, into a big hug.
Oh.
Thank you. Thank all of you. I hope you don't mind, but I did buy some stuff from Absalom.
You did?
Rewards for setting an old man at ease.
Oh, you didn't have to do all that.
I reckon I did, though.
I suppose if you insist.
He's so silk.
Silk being like, "Don't mind if I do."
If he wanted to get us something, then let him.
Give me items, please. Thank you.
If it sets him further at ease, then why not? I will assist in this therapy.
You are ridiculous.
So he steps forward, and I think the first thing he does is, Alrik, he hands you a bag, like a really beautiful bag. It seems to be like it's got these beautiful gold accents to it. It is made of fine leather, and as you open it, you see inside there is like a cosmic space within. And he says, "I see you limping back into town with your bags bulging and your face is tired. I wanted to first off give you something to help you with that. This is a spacious pouch. It's one of those extra dimensional bags. This particular one, it can carry quite a fair amount."
Oh my.
God.
And he smiles a little bit and says, "This is the least interesting thing,
Least?
but I wanted you to have it as a thank you."
Well, thank you. Truly. Will help loads when we're down there.
Extremely.
Good news is that is 25 bulk that it can carry.
Thank fucking God.
Wow, something to help me.
Wow.
But I do have more beyond that. He pulls out a group of 5 arrows. And these arrows, they are azure blue, and they are carved in the shape of an undulating snake, its bared fangs framing the point of its head. This arrow is made from a shaft of silver with a gleaming copper tip. And as you kind of touch it, you feel like faint electricity surging through it. And Kilno says, "This is a lightning rod shot. When this arrow hits a target, it'll kind of stick into them. And if someone does lightning damage near it, it'll absorb some of that damage into the person who's been struck. So you shoot this into someone, and nearby someone else takes lightning damage, so too will this person." So the way it works is that for 1 minute after this arrow hits someone, if someone nearby takes electricity damage, they will take 1 damage for each damage dice the other person took. So if they took 1d6 damage, the person with the lightning rod shot would take 1 damage. If they took 10d6 damage, they would take 10 damage, so on and so forth.
Oh. God, thank you. Really.
It is truly the least I could do. I'm glad you like it. He seems almost pleased. He wasn't sure if you would.
Ah.
He then turns to you, Fiore, and he says, "And, here." And, he takes out a little circlet.
Oh.
And it seems to be made of, like, recycled metal.
Oh.
With a gemstone, in the middle. A golden gemstone. And he says, "This is a tactician's circlet. It's made from helmets worn by battlefield commanders. And it should give you imparted knowledge of battlefield tactics to feed off your minor victories."
Oh, thank you.
So when you wear this item, it gives you +1 on warfare lore checks. Also, the jewel becomes charged each time you hit a creature with your retributive strike. And it can hold up to 2 charges, and it resets to 0 when you invest in it. As an action, once per hour, you can use one of the helm's charges. You can use one of the charges to gain one of the effects, a command issued from the wisdom of the helmet. And those commands are: charge! You stride twice. Move it! You gain a +2 to your acrobatics and athletics until the end of your turn. Protect! You stride to an ally and raise your shield. Rearm! You interact up to 3 times. Each of them is to swap an item.
Pretty good.
And that goes onto your sheet. It's a modified version of a tactician's helmet, made for you because you are a champion.
Thank you.
And then Silk, he turns to you. And he says, "Now this one I wasn't quite as sure about, but hopefully."
Mm-hmm.
He takes out a fucking rapier. But at the end of the rapier, it appears to have not a sword grip, but a gun grip.
Gay gunblade?
So this is a nightmare's lament. And indeed, the gunblade seems to be made of like a weird white substance, and there's like black smoke continually surrounding the red flecked blade. It's a type of rapier pistol. It's made from the bones of a nightmare. You know, one of those weird evil horses.
I've heard of them.
Well, it's a gun blade, so you can use it like a sword or a gun. But also, you can let it expel out the dark smoke of the nightmare to sicken your enemies.
Silk holds this sick as fuck gunblade, and he's like, "My goodness, Kilno, you are a blessing in the disguise of a very handsome man."
He says, his face is going really red very quickly. I don't think it's been a while since anyone's ever told him he was handsome, and I think he was very flustered suddenly.
How
Aw.
has no one told him this? We need to fix this.
Kilno, you're so handsome.
Your next job is to get this man a new partner.
That's what I'm talking about.
No,
New
for real.
Quest accepted.
God.
So he says, I just reckoned that I asked my contacts if anyone knew any good any good guns for a distinguished gentleman who likes guns, and they told me about these bone guns they made, and it sounded, like people get dice made of guns. bone. I don't know.
Thank you very much, darling.
Just shuts up a little bit, and then he shakes himself and says,
Oh.
but yeah, I wanted to say thank you. You're heroes, all of you. I think I have to... I think I get to move on. I've not really thought about that, never. And I don't really know what I'm supposed to do with myself, to be honest.
It's not like you need to know the second that it happens.
Yeah,
I think what's important is that you are okay. Are you okay?
I don't know. I spent 30 years waiting for the day that I could say that Jean Mesmin is truly no longer frightening to me. And I don't know what I'm supposed to do now. And I want to say I'm alright, but I don't know. I don't know.
You should sleep on it.
Yeah, I reckon I will.
Give your mind some time to process.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Not a problem.
And I think slowly the night dispels. There's no celebrations. There's no drinking in town. It's over. How are you guys doing?
I think Fiore is just feeling very relieved.
Mhm.
Relieved that they were able to successfully remove the lycanthropy without killing him, which Fiore extremely did not want to do.
Silk is... Well, he's also glad that, Shawl didn't die. He's glad that no one today, had his blood on their hands, and he's especially glad that Alrik does not have his blood on their hands. Not that he thinks that Alrik wouldn't be able to handle something like that, but he wouldn't want him to have to in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
Silk is concerned most about Alric's mental well-being. And I think that instead of dwelling on how he would be relieved that this guy will in fact rot in a cell for the rest of his life, I think that he is maybe silently fussing over Alrik a little bit.
And Alrik, how are you doing?
Alrik is definitely relieved that everything is over. He is definitely happy with the turn of events. Everything pretty much went well. No one got hurt. I think Alrik was very happy to have Fiore and Silk with him there, because that ordeal did send him reeling. I will say that maybe for a while, maybe for a few days, he was thinking of, oh no, the worst possible outcome. But right now I think he's just happily and bashfully telling Silk that he is okay. And yeah, I think it's just all around relief. Also, his parents aren't threatened anymore, which is great. He did not take very happily to that, so he's glad that they are now safe from this man.
Dice Will Roll will return after these messages. We now return to Dice Will Roll.
So, as you all kind of make your way back home, I guess my question is, what's the plan tomorrow? Another day has gone by, and the town has once again been saved from another existential threat. From thieves trying to burn down the church, to wolfmen being cured of lycanthropy. I think that the atmosphere in Otari has been a little grim over the last few days. I think you've noticed that people seem a little more tired. My question is, Fogfen Few, what's the plan tomorrow?
I don't know that Silk requests it unless someone else brings it up, but Silk is going to be a little bit busy.
What do you mean by that?
He hasn't finished what he needs to do. Remember?
Okay, well, if you'd like to spend some time at home, spend a few days out of the dungeon, that's fine.
That is what Silk is going to do.
Okay. Alrik and Fiore, do either of you want to just kind of relax as well for the weekend? You've certainly earned it.
Yeah, I think Alrik might relax for a bit. I'll be honest, it's been a while since he's seen Doriana. He wants to make sure she's okay.
Okay. And Fiore, are you going to relax as well this weekend?
Well, I mean, he's not going into the dungeon alone.
Fuck it.
For Fiore, he doesn't particularly, need breaks from the dungeon. It's more like, well, if everybody else isn't going, I'm not gonna risk my life by going by myself. That would be dumb. So he uses that chance to continue helping people around the town. Probably, he's like, it might help specifically to help people so that there's some positive things going on instead of all the negative stuff that's been happening recently. You know?
Mm-hmm. The three of you head home. I think, Alrik, on your way home, you are approached by someone who was kind of like waiting for you at the crossroads. And it's Rin.
Oh.
Rin Savinksi kind of turns and smiles at you and says, "Oh, Master Alrik, hi.
Rin, hello.
Fancy seeing you here. How strange."
Yes, well, this is the road. This is close to where I'm supposed to be heading home.
No way, that's so strange.
Yes.
Wow, who would have guessed?
Right. What?
Can we talk? Maybe? Just a little bit?
Beg pardon?
Can we talk a little bit? It's all good, it's just I need advice.
Sure, yeah, of course. What's on your mind?
Can we go to my place, maybe?
Okay, yeah.
You're brought back to Rin's place. And Rin she makes you some tea. It's like late now. Really late. She makes some small talk, I think. Very, very obviously awkward small talk.
Right. That's great because Alrik is not good at small talk either, so it's very much like...
She's like, "Did you see that the people on Rajani Street, they repainted their house? That is so amazing, yes?"
Yeah.
Wow. I am glad you agree that it is amazing.
Yes. It does look quite nice.
She makes a little face and says, "Okay. I need your advice, Alrik.
Mm-hmm.
You are brave. You are a brave boy.
Yeah.
Well, you are. You even though you are scared sometimes, you go through with it. And you fight anyway. And that is really impressive to me. And I need some help with something.
Okay. Well, I'll help in any way I can. What do you need?
You have certainly noticed by now of my plight. You know, the things that I can and cannot do.
Yeah. Sure.
With the hounds.
Right, yes.
Do you know of the hounds of Tindalos?
Alrik, make a check to see if he knows anything about the Hounds of Tindalos.
Yeah, occultism for sure.
All right.
Okay. Oh shit. That's bad.
Okay.
Hounds of Tindalos. They are lean and athirst. They're barely hounds. They're freaky monsters. And
Ooh.
specifically, they are drawn to those who tamper with the flow of time or use rare magical or alchemical drugs to send their thoughts or perception back or forwards through time.
Okay.
They are basically... You remember that one episode of Doctor Who where Rose makes a fucking paradox by accident and weird monsters start leaking through reality? They're
Yeah.
like that.
Oh.
And they hunt in packs.
Oh.
And specifically, their big thing is that they can appear through any right angle. Like, if you have a corner, they appear through the corner.
Alrik looks around and goes, okay, yep, okay, get it now.
And if they are around a place with no right angles, they immediately become sickened.
So that's what you mean by that's what you meant by hounds. Okay. I follow now completely.
She looks actually a little worse than normal, and she says, well, this is why I have brought you here, and I am ashamed, but the truth of the matter is... And then before she can say anything else, there is a person at the door busting in. And it is a familiar face, actually.
I think Alrik immediately goes in front of Rin to protect her and reaches for his knife immediately because all he heard was door almost bust down. So he was immediately like, "Okay, we're doing this."
Yeah, you're high tension right now, right?
Yeah.
A figure pushes through the door. And it's not even like a wooden door, it's like the curtains, the jangling beads.
Mm-hmm.
There's just the sound of footsteps, some pushing in. You immediately turn around, whip out the knife, point it. You're protecting Rin. And it's the butler from the Menhim's Manor.
What? Oh my goodness. Okay.
He's like, Master Reverend.
Okay. I'm so sorry. I'm a little jumpy. Is everything all right? What happened?
Your presence at the Menhim's Manor is immediately requested.
What happened?
We don't really know.
And he looks at Rin.
She goes, no, this is more important. Go do that.
Oh, okay. We can continue this conversation as soon as possible. And he, I think he apologizes on his way out. Very quickly, he's like, I am so sorry. I'll talk to you later.
Silk, we're gonna hop to you.
Hey.
We'll be right back to that. It's probably nothing, right?
It's probably nothing.
Probably nothing. Yeah.
Silk.
I'm sure she just wants a tea party.
Yeah. Silk,
Imagine. It's literally just a cheap emergency tea party.
Extremely funny.
so what's up, man? Tell me what's going on.
Those books are open again.
Yeah?
Yeah, both of them.
Whispers into Reeds?
Whispers in the Reeds and the Thresholds of Truth. He's kind of like Silk has these very nice book stands that he's propped both of them on, and in front of him he's got scrolls of paper, which some of them are on the floor crumpled, but there is a neat pile of papers which have just lines and lines and lines of very neat, beautiful text on them.
Mm-hmm.
He is going to finish his thesis tonight, whether he likes it or not.
Okay.
He's going to send it off. After making a magical copy, of course.
Of course.
Of course.
So, I want you to make me, I think, an occultism check.
Hope I fail it.
So, Silk, you are writing. And as you pore over the Whispering Reeds, you more or less start coming to the conclusion that whatever you send off tonight will not, under any circumstances, be close to being a full thesis.
Fuck. Alright.
No, that's fine. What you can send is something that will satisfy your mother.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying you can't write a good piece of text tonight. You've been writing. But tonight is the night where you really put an effort in.
Yeah.
But Silk, as you are going through the Whispering Reeds, you become convinced that you cannot stop this now.
Mm-hmm.
You will write something for your mom. You'll send it off to her, and she will be convinced. But there is so much in here that you are only scratching the surface on. Because the Whispering Reeds, that is itself terrible. But you're going through as well Belcora's writing. It's taking you a little longer because you don't speak Aklo. God, it would be so much faster if you could speak Aklo. You should really start learning it.
I really oughta.
But what you basically understand is that this book, The Whispering Reeds, it was compiled centuries ago by an anonymous author who sought to collect all the parables, myths, stories, and encounters with the outer goddess Nimbalot. According to the introduction, the author's original intent was to create a work that foes of the Empty Debt could use to fight against her influence. But as you get through the book, you find that he did the exact opposite. By compiling these stories, he created a looking glass for her to access the world through. It was not originally meant to be the holy text of Nimbalot, but it has since basically become that. And Silk, you have basically uncovered that there is so much more to this than you thought. There's stuff about Nimbalot you don't understand. There's stuff about Belcora you don't understand. You get the feeling that if you were to start researching, this would seriously help you in your quest. And as a result, I'm going to let you know that you have unlocked the research subsystem I've got for this game. You can spend downtime reading through all of these little books that you've collected and slowly start uncovering the backstory of Abomination Vaults. Who is Belcora? How did she get here? What does she want? And also, what's going on with Nimbalot. So the way that research works is you have several repositories of knowledge, right? By now, you have collected the Threshold of Truth, you have collected Belcor's diary, and of course, you have the Whispering Reeds. Now, each of these objects, each of these books, has a certain amount of research points that they can give, right? For example, the Threshold of Truth has 5 research points. You can roll different skill checks with each of these, and every time that you succeed, or critically succeed, you will get research points, up until the maximum at which point, you've used it up, right?
Yeah.
So, for example, again, using the Threshold of Truth, it has 5 research points. You could get basically 5 successes worth of information out.
Okay.
At certain thresholds, as you earn more research points from all of these, you will get breakthroughs of information, which will include information, but sometimes they will include mechanical bonuses too, or mechanical obstacles, we'll say.
Okay. Scary.
Just as an example, when you hit 5 research points total from all of your stuff, you might learn something about Nimbalot, or you might learn something that hints at what's going on in the Abomination vaults.
Okay. Alright.
But
Oh.
you might also do something you were not intending to do. Oops.
No, what do you mean by
So-
what do you mean by that?
I don't know. We'll find out. Let's start
Oh.
making some research skill checks, because these will take. So we have the Threshold of Truth, the occult grimoire of the wizard Zarmavdian, which held lore that he uncovered later in life that slowly descended into panicked scribbles. We have the diary of Belcora Howravex, which has just stuff about her life and where she came from and what happened to her, although it is written. It's partially written in code. It is very hard to decipher, and it's not written necessarily in order. And then you have the Whispering Reeds, the collected dark stories that made up the holy text of Nimbalot. You can roll for Threshold of Truth, Arcana, or Occultism. For the Diary of Belcora, that would be Society or Occultism. And for the Whispering Reeds, that would be Religion or Occultism.
It's gonna be occultism for all of them because that's my highest one.
You can also throw in your academic lore, I will say. You can use them in all of these.
Okay. Will that make the DC lower?
It might, or it might make it higher. Who knows?
You want me dead, don't you?
A little bit.
Alright.
So make me that roll. And you tell me which source you're looking to read from.
Okay. I'm gonna read from the Whispering Reeds,
Sure.
and I'm going to roll Academia lore.
Okay. The Whispering Reeds has the highest DCs, but it also has the most amount of research points you can make.
Yes.
A critical success.
Pog?
You just rolled a nat 20.
Pog?
Now my question is that a good thing? Let's find out.
No! Fuck no, it's not.
Silky, you spend hours deciphering the Whispering Reeds. And I think maybe looking through the others as well. The Whispering Reeds here is heavily annotated. It has Belcora's handwriting throughout. But what you do learn after several hours is the following. Nimbalot uses the shores of the River of Souls to manifest upon the universe's countless worlds, but she can't just do so whenever she wills it. She must weaken the border between planes so that she can drift in through the cracks and stain what she finds. The resulting blurring between the River of Souls and its shore is metaphysically akin to the muddied boundary of a swamp. It's no coincidence that when Nimbalot emerges into alien planets, she will usually choose to dwell in its remote swamplands. Nimbalot isn't a glutton. She's endlessly patient and can linger on a world for centuries before being noticed. Most people won't even realize she's here until it's far too late. There have been countless planets to have faced this fate. You also uncover notes about one Belcora Harovex, a former aristocrat from the city of Absalom. The Harovexes were cast out of the city following a great scandal, the uncovering of House Harovex as a cult worshipping some terrible god. The Harovexes enacted abhorrent rites in their worship, including bloody sacrifices, and the authorities eventually caught wind of their crimes. The Harovexes were finally driven from the Isle of Kortos in 4219 AR, forced to leave their estates and luxuries behind. So, what did we learn just there? What are the points of information that you didn't know before that you now know?
Well, I didn't know that's happened to other planets before. Safe to say it's currently happening to ours.
And what's this about Harovexes?
Yes, Belcora is from a family which was fucking ousted from Kortos for being Nimbalot worshippers, I'm assuming. Family
Maybe.
business? Question mark?
Who's to say?
Me, you were to say, what?
Well, I can't say anything more because you do have to earn more research points. You have
Bitch.
2 total.
Okay.
It'll take another couple of research points until you learn more. How is Silk doing as you kind of come down from this?
I feel like there's this pit building inside of him as he keeps going forward. I think maybe that pit was planted while researching it for the first time with Alrik, but only watered recently with his situation. It doesn't feel good to learn these things, but he feels like he can't stop. Or that he just shouldn't stop. Even though bad, very bad things could very well happen to him.
Oh, and there is one more thing. Silk. She can see you. You know for certain that she can see you. And you don't know what that means. All you know is that you feel... You know when you know someone is looking at you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you feel that. You keep jumping at shadows, being sure that there is someone staring at you. You have the most intense scopophobia tripping off at every single time you open a door, look out the window. And it's really bad right now. And I'm sorry, but you've got another curse, mon frere.
One
thing
for the
is-
other, let's go.
Oh, God.
But the thing is, you don't know what the curse is.
I'm
it-
sure it's good.
You don't seem to feel anything necessarily. There's no noticeable side effects aside from being a little paranoid, but you're not feeling sick. Your hands don't tremble. You just keep being a little unnerved when you look at the sky.
Mm-hmm. I think in response to that, Silk takes his parasol out a lot more, even on completely sunny days, so he doesn't have to look at the sky.
Silk, you have opened yourself up to more information, but more repercussions for that information. In future downtime, you will be able to study and you will be able to learn more.
Fantastic.
And by the end of the campaign, you should have a pretty good idea of who Belcora was, who Nimbalot is, and the extent of both of their awful powers.
I cannot wait to let Fiore and Alrik know that Silk has been keeping more lies of omission from them on accident. Woo! I love it. He doesn't mean to. You know, it's rough. It's a hard habit to knock lying.
What I will
Genuinely.
also give you is Silk.
Mm-hmm.
I think you have unlocked a new little thing. And I will allow you to retrain it. Faster than you might normally be able to retrain. Rather than pistol venom, and you'll still be good at using guns, don't worry.
Mm-hmm.
I will allow you to take Eldritch Researcher. A Abomination Vault's exclusive archetype.
That sounds fitting.
As an eager student of occult lore, you enjoy reading rare or forgotten tomes with ancient rituals and hidden secrets. You can connect disparate facts to unlock deeper mysteries and uncover the truths of the universe. You zealously hoard the knowledge your painstaking research produces. Aberrations fascinate you for many reasons, not at the least of which is because their anatomy is wholly alien and yet, to the insightful, eminently sensible. You've been particularly enlightened by the accumulated lore in Thresholds of Truth, and you know Zarmavdian was a kindred soul in occult research. With this book in hand, you feel like you stand at the doorway to unprecedented occult discoveries.
Okay.
This will basically give you a cool hybrid of arcane and occult magic, and let you do some unusual stuff.
Okay, I like being able to do unusual stuff.
And that's where we'll drop you. Fiore, what are you up to tonight?
I'm not sure, because, I mean, he's gonna walk home. He's probably, he might stop at the Drunken Dragon, literally just because he's like, I would like to talk about something nice that isn't stressful with the guy that I have that is it's totally not, we're not dating.
Okay. Fiore, you are walking to the Drunken Dragon when a hand touches your shoulder. In the middle of the night.
Fiore, flinches and he looks over?
It's a bandit.
Excuse me?
It's a bandit. You're being mugged.
He fucking stops them.
A grim-looking bandit has put his hand on your shoulder in the middle of the night. What do you do immediately?
He puts his hand on the guy's hand and says, I don't think you want to do that.
The guy's face drops and he's like, huh?
I'm sorry? What do you need?
I was told to go get you.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were a bandit. I'm so sorry.
I am a bandit.
Oh, what do you mean? What?
I mean, that's my job. I steal. I mug people.
Well, don't.
I'm not gonna mug you, though. I was told to get you.
By who?
The boss.
And who's the boss?
He narrows his eyes. I don't know who you're talking about.
You should tell me.
Huh?
It's Miss Yanmizmer.
Oh, jeez. Okay, sure. Sorry, I thought you were gonna mug me and...
Do you have any valuables on you?
None that belong to you.
Yeah, but his hand oh no, but the boss would be angry.
He was like, if you mug me, I will stop you, and you won't enjoy that.
And she doesn't like when you mug people either.
Is this a point of contention?
He frowns. Sometimes I just think maybe we should be I don't know. There's been talk about unionizing against her, but I don't know.
Because she doesn't want you to mug people.
I mean, she's probably better. She's got these rules. It's not fair. He's walking you back to the place, by the way.
Fiore's like, I'm a paladin of Sarenrae, right?
mean, yeah, but, like, I'm a bandit, and I've got a knife, and I could rob from you if I wanted to.
No, you couldn't.
He brings you to the front door. Yeah, I could. And you are
Keep dreaming, buddy.
you are brought inside. There's no one else in here, except for Yan, who is sitting on the bar itself, legs folded. She's very hot. Sorry.
Believe me, I know this. I know this to be true.
And he's, right, well, I'll wait outside. Yan is kind of sitting there as you enter, and she says, "Hello, Fiore.
Hi.
I trust that Muggsy didn't give you too much trouble."
His name is Muggsy?
Yes. And I would advise you not to make fun of it, because that is his chosen name. He's very recently out as transgender, and we're all
I'm
very
sorry.
proud of him.
I thought he was gonna mug me earlier. What do you need?
I wanted to thank you, Fiore,
For?
for solving our little problem. It would have been very convenient for the town to have Suko put behind bars. And certainly, if he'd been put behind bars, Suko, of all people, would have talked to save his skin, and would have put me in a spot of bother.
Ah.
I also, on a more personal note, would like to thank you for defending me from the rat of Vandy.
I'm sorry about her. She...
Hates me, I know.
That mom got hurt, so she was freaking out.
Any chance to get back at me, as it were, I'm sure she'll take. She's never forgiven me, you know.
Well, no. I know that.
She likes to blame your request to settle down. She likes to say that I was not willing to settle down, and that's why I left the church. I just wanted you to know, Fiore, that I always loved you like a child of my own. I didn't leave the church because I was unhappy with her and Rumina's decision to stay here. I left the church because I came to understand that the church just wasn't for me.
Uh-huh.
I was a seeker. Do you know what a seeker is, dear? I don't know if they have many seekers here.
I've heard of them before. I don't really...
You have 3 types of clerics. A cloistered cleric who prays, a war priest who battles, and a seeker who searches for lost relics. I came to the realization that I quite liked not simply uncovering the relics, but selling them. That little star, the sun that you were sustained by in the dungeon, I had wanted to send it back to Absalom, but your mother decided to hang on to it, and that was quite frustrating for me, and we had an argument, and I left the party, and then later I left the church. And after some time figuring out what I wanted to do with myself, I decided to come back here and see if I couldn't reconcile with your mother. But she didn't quite like that I was leaving the Fate, and she really did not like that I had a few stolen goods on my person. Stolen is a hard word. Procured goods.
By stealing?
Well, I didn't do it.
Oh my goodness.
I apologize for being petty, setting up a guild under your mother's nose. But I
So
just
that was
want you
petty?
to... Oh yes, fuck her. Sorry. Oh yes, that's unfortunate.
Good lord, man.
But I want you to know, Fiore, that you were never the issue. In fact, I wanted to come back and see you as you grew. I like you, and I'm proud to see that you have grown into a man of great moral standing.
Thanks.
I understand that you are going deeper and deeper into the dungeon beyond parts anyone else would ever have had a chance to go to.
Yeah.
I want you to know that you should come to me if you are looking to sell treasures. We will pay very well for them. The rarer, the better.
I'm I'm kind of worried about the hands that they'll get into.
You don't have to worry about that. They're not stolen. Well, not from anyone who could ever care anymore. We resell them to distributors. I don't know what happens to them. You really... Fiore, you don't have to worry so much.
You're not giving me a lot of faith here.
Fiore, why would I sell these to people who are evil? You know that I don't like it when people cause crimes that can affect this town.
I do know that. But this town is
why would
also
I-
not the only place.
Okay. And what if I told you that we only sell these to good people who are nice and do good things with the treasures?
Yeah, and would that be a lie?
Yes. When you sell your items to someone in the shops, in the markets, who's to say they're not selling to someone with ill intents themselves? It's the same odds. It's just I'm more willing to pay for interesting treasures. I'm offering you a very good deal, Fiore, and it's not because I'm trying to trick you. It's because I like you. I like you a lot. I'm sorry that I only arrived here when you were about, 18 at that point?
Yeah, I think so.
I'm sorry I wasn't present for your childhood. I understand. But you've seen over the last 6 years, banditry in this part of the world has become a lot more refined while I'm here. I'm sure you must be thankful.
Well, I mean, it's definitely not as bad as it could be.
Exactly. How about you just think over it? Your Auntie Yan is here to take care of you. And she can put quite a bit of gold into your pockets.
Gold isn't really the point, but...
But with good gold, you can buy good treasure, which will help you save the people of Otari. And I won't tell your mother. Don't worry.
I didn't think you would.
She leans in, she puts a finger under your chin. Come on, Fiore. Have I ever let you down?
I don't know how to answer that question.
The answer is no, because you've never given me a chance. Give me a chance.
I will think about it. I don't really know. The stuff that we're getting from in there is dangerous.
Then vet it.
I'll think about it.
That's a good boy.
You should try talking to Mama again. Maybe now.
If she
that-
apologizes to me, maybe.
Maybe if you both had a conversation.
She can come to me first.
Oh my god.
I've done nothing wrong here.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
She's just like a real aunt.
Yeah, and you run a thieves guild.
We like to call ourselves a brigand's order.
You run a brigand's order, and you were a cleric. I think that might be unsettling for my mom.
Well, maybe she should grow up about it. She sniffs.
I'm trying really hard right now.
Just think it over, okay, Fiore?
Okay. And you should tell Muggsy or other people that when they're trying to get the attention of people, don't just menacingly put their hand on people's shoulders.
Moxie's just a little stupid. You have to be nice to him.
Because I almost hurt him, and I was really not trying to hurt him.
I will tell him not to ever lay hands on you again.
Well, I mean, he wouldn't have hurt me. I just don't want to accidentally hurt him.
You have a good night, Fiore.
You have a good night, too.
Fiore, you leave the Crook's Nook and look up at the cloudy sky above. Then a hand puts on your shoulder and a knife is put at your tummy, and Muggsy says, "Give me everything you've got."
What the
Fiore
fuck?
pulls the knife out of his hand without any issue, and he's like, I suggest that you don't do that again.
Give me my knife back.
No, you just tried to mug me.
I won't do it again.
I don't trust that at all.
And we fade as we pull out and make our way towards Menheim Manor. Alrik,
Hello.
as you enter, you hear the sounds of screaming.
Well,
It's Doriana. There is no doubt about it. It is
Ye-
Doriana.
he goes immediately towards the screaming.
It's in from her bedroom.
Yep, he's going.
Um,
I think while he's going, he's also like shouting her name.
As you make your way inside, Osif is there. He looks up at you with wide eyes. I'm so sorry for disturbing you this late at night, Master Revra. I don't know what's happening.
No, don't worry. It was incredibly important. How long has this been going on? What exactly is happening?
For the last few nights, every time she goes to sleep, she wakes up and she screams and screams and screams. And there, indeed, in the bed, Doriana is trashing, and she is holding onto her plushie as tight as she can. She's sweating, she's crying, and she is, like, really in a bad state.
Alrik approaches her bed and kneels at the bedside and holds on to her hand and says, Doriana, it's Ulrich. Can you hear me?
Which hand do you touch?
Whichever one would be closest to him, so it depends on what side he's on the bed. So then right hand.
It's cold to the touch. And she is still trashing a little bit, and she's not even making any coherent words right now. She's just really fucked up, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I want you to make me maybe a diplomacy check to try calm her down. Okay, wow, just a DC. Well done.
Okay. Whee!
You spent some time calming her down, and eventually, finally, she goes quiet. She's like, sorry. I'm sorry.
Hey, it's okay.
I had a really bad dream.
What happened?
There were winged things, and everything was dark and scary, and they would have gotten me if it weren't for Miss Motley.
They?
The monsters.
So she was protecting you then?
Yes. She protected me and she told me I'd be okay. But the monsters were always there and they were always coming.
Well, it's a good thing that she was there to protect you. Doriana, how often do these nightmares plague you? And is it the same dream each night?
She looks away like she doesn't want to answer.
It really is okay. You can tell me.
I don't know.
All I want to do is help.
I said I don't know. And suddenly there's like a moment of like almost aggression in her voice.
I think Alrik is stunned at that. But he says, okay. Consider it dropped.
And she rubs her right arm.
Mm-hmm.
And she just kind of grumbles and says, I'm sorry, I just don't know.
It's okay. You don't have to apologize.
She clutches Miss Motley's plushie as close as possible. I'm only safe because Miss Motley was here. And I want you to make me a perception check, Alrik.
Okay.
Alrik, her arm is fucking bruised.
Oh.
But it's bruised in an unnatural way.
Okay.
Because her bruise looks like a set of numbers all up her forearm.
Jesus Christ. Okay. How far do the numbers go?
The number is 61522. They're vague, but like you catch sight of her arm and you take a look, and they're just impressed into her arm.
I think Alrik kind of does fuss over her a little bit and goes, Doriana, your arm. Are you okay?
It's fine. She kind of pulls her arm back again, a little more aggressively than you would be used to.
If you say so, but if it gets any worse, I do have a plethora of healing salves for that. And bandages.
It's okay. Miss Motley will take care of it. She's been spending every day with me. And it's almost accusatory the way she says that.
Right. Well, I don't know if Alrik really has much to say about that because he actually sounds a little hurt.
Oh no!
Oh. The important thing here is that you are all right. Right now, you're okay.
And I think she nods a little bit and like doesn't totally look at you.
Oh man, Alrik does want to investigate a little bit further because this is frightening.
You can make a perception check just to see if you notice anything.
Yeah.
There's something wrong with the plushie.
Yeah.
Alrik, there's something inside of it.
What? Inside? Oh.
There's something that has been sewed inside of the plushie.
Oh no, she's clutching onto it. Fuck.
You have a choice to make, don't you?
Yeah. Oh, Arik's gonna have to put on the big brother pants. Fuck. Okay. Doriana, have you noticed anything different with Miss Motley lately?
I don't know what you mean.
There's something that I've noticed sewn into her. And I was wondering if that was recent or if you've noticed.
She furrows her brow at you like she doesn't understand.
Arik looks at the doll again.
Yeah, dude, there's definitely something in there. It's like, you know that one picture of fucking Jerry from Tom and Jerry after he's eating a big cheese? It's like that.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Like, it is so fucking obvious. Like, you can't not fucking see it. It's like there's a huge lump inside of Miss Motley.
Like, okay. I think Alrik knows better than to touch the doll right now. So, Alrik points his finger and goes, try squeezing here.
She frowns at you and says, I don't want to. I think Mayor Menhimstow stands up and says, Doriana, do what Master Reverus says. And she does not. So I think Mayor Menheim storms forward and snatches that toy out of her hands because he sees it too.
Wait.
Yeah, Doriana fucking freaks the fuck out of him. And she starts like saying, "Get off her! Get away from her!" And Mayor Menheim's, maybe a little dumb, pulls out a pocket knife.
Wait, hang on.
God.
Oh my god.
And he cuts the toy open.
This is so bad.
Doriana, very much so, freaks the fuck out, jumps out of bed, and like tackles her father. And she is screaming with anger right now. This is completely unlike her.
Alrik does everything he can to separate and restrain Doriana right now.
I think she tries to bite you, dude.
Yeah, he doesn't let that happen.
She screams, and I think the butler has to come in, and she, like, you're all being pulled away, and she's screaming, I hate you! I hate you both! Don't ever talk to me again! And Alrik, the last thing you see as you're being pulled out of there is what came out of Miss Motley's plushie.
Mm-hmm.
And it is a large ruby gemstone. One that looks very similar.
Yeah, I was about to say, like the staff in the Dreamlands Ruby?
Almost identical to your staff of the Dreamlands Ruby. And with that, the door is slammed shut. Osef here is on the other side as the tantrum continues. And he is also weirdly aggressive right now. Like, I think you catch that very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know what's going on, but he seems just as freaked out, but against her, not against you.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he rubs his face and says, "We can't keep putting up with this. She ruins every time we try to speak to new people. Every time anyone interacts with her, she always does something to push them away." I'm
Look,
so sorry for
Mayor.
dragging you into this, Alrik.
No, Mayor, with all due respect,
We're going to send her away.
No, you will not do that. She is
Well,
pushing
clearly we're
people
not able to
away
do anything.
because people here don't understand her.
Well, maybe we should send her to someone who does understand. There's schools in Absalom for girls like her.
I understand her. There was something inside of that doll, and I've only noticed it just now. I saw a ruby inside that doll.
Yeah, I saw it too, the thing that fell out when I cut it open.
Yes, and there's something wrong with it. And it's
Well, yes,
identical to this. And he pulls out his Staff of the Dreamlands.
Oh shit, okay, he shuts up.
This is a Staff of the Dreamlands. When I was in Absalom, it called to me specifically, and I don't know why, but now I think I do. Keep this here.
He nods slowly.
If it's identical, it could be a counterbalance, it could be something.
Okay.
I promised that I would do everything I could to help with Doriana. I told you that she's like a sister to me. You are not taking her to Absalom. I will do everything I can. If you deem me a failure, then fine. Do as you please. But I promise you I won't fail.
Fine. If you can figure out what's going on, do. We'll keep this here and hopefully it helps. But if you're not able to help her, we'll find someone who can. Okay?
And Alrik puts the staff next to Doriana's door and goes to leave, but before he does turn back and say, "You know, it would do to give her a bit of color in her life. It would do to give her some color in her life. You know, this is where this all stems from. With all due respect, sir, you have been shoving things in her face hoping that she would latch onto it. I would also care to ask, what loot has she been using? Listen to her."
Oh my god!
I'm gonna
Gag
kill
him.
myself right
Shit,
now.
dude.
Actively listen to your own child. I beg you. So this doesn't happen again. And he walks out.
Holy shit.
I get on one knee.
Alrik, how are you doing?
This is a wave of emotions that he's feeling right now. All of that was a blur. That was all a blur that he just experienced. I don't know if he was fully I don't know if he was fully conscious from that entire speech. But he is angry. He is depressed.
Yeah, fair enough.
And amongst that, he's also determined to make sure that this helps and is sorted out immediately. I don't know if he really wants to spend time in the dungeon while this is going on, unless there is a reason to go in the dungeon that is connected to this. He is one-track minded right now, and it is help Doriana.
So you don't have the Staff of the Dreamlands anymore. You've put that in the house.
Yes.
I think, Alrik, we're going to cut back to you the next day. You don't go into the dungeon Moon Day either. Seems okay. Silk, for some reason, says he's got a lot of work to do.
Fiore's like,
Fiore's looking longingly at the dungeon. Alrik, you go back the next day, and it seems that she was able to sleep pretty safely afterwards. Better than normal, even.
Okay.
maybe it has to do with the staff being up there. You don't know.
Mm-hmm. It could be
But-
the staff. It could be that the ruby is well, the ruby is still there, so it might still have power, but still.
Yeah, I think you do see Doriana. She does not want to talk to you, though. That she makes that very clear.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Which is fucking devastating, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you see her, and she just completely clams up.
Mm-hmm.
But she doesn't seem to have gotten worse. And I think I want you to make me an occultism check.
Right.
I think this is like after a whole day of basically spending the entire day at the manor to see what's happening.
Oh, wait, that wasn't secret. Fuck.
That's okay.
Okay. Oh.
Okay, so I think I'm gonna give you two things here.
Mm-hmm.
After spending an entire day at the manor, you get the impression that something is up with Osef and everyone else as well.
Mm-hmm.
Because Doriana's attitude is not the only one which is strange. Everyone seems kind of strange right now.
Mm-hmm.
Miss Menhims is usually polite, but she's not really spending much time with Doriana. Osef wants your help, but gets very short with Doriana very quickly,
Mm-hmm.
which is not what you saw when you first met them.
Yeah.
But I think the other thing... Oh, and also, she is still hugging Miss Motley, and she has sewn the ruby back into Miss Motley.
Mm-hmm.
Do you do anything about that?
Oh, God.
Or are you going to leave it, or what's the plan?
Fuck. Oh, my God. The conundrum of Alrik really wanting to get that ruby away from the house, but at the same time, not further antagonizing Doriana. I assume this will also have consequences with it if I do anything.
Maybe.
Okay.
It really is like that.
Poor thing. He's just sitting there, fucking mentally writhing. I think he will try to make an attempt, but as soon as it goes bad, he'll back.
Okay. Maybe it's worth a stealth check, honestly.
Okay. I do maybe have something for that, maybe.
Okay. You do also have the Kalen key. It will help you here with beginner's luck if you want.
That is true. I also... Well, okay, so this is for sneak, but I have the Onyx
Yes.
Panther.
Okay. Yeah, that would work. What's the Onyx Panther do?
This beautiful black pebble is sculpted into a stylized panther's shape. When you activate it, use a sneak action with a +1 item bonus to the check. Okay, you can move at your full speed instead of half on the sneak action, and any others with you at this action. Okay.
That would work.
Oh, it
that
does?
would work.
Oh,
That'll
sick.
give you a +1 to the check, and you can get in, get out before she notices.
Okay.
So make me that stealth check, and beginner's luck will kick in here. The Kalen key glows slightly in your pocket as you reach forward while Doriana has kind of drifted off for a midday nap.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so with beginner's luck and the +1 from the Onyx Panther.
Yeah, well, re-roll me beginner's luck. Re-roll me that result because you got 15,
Uh-huh.
but you can You can re-roll and see if you get a higher result.
Let's see. 19? Plus 1, 20?
I think that does it. You're able to sneak up, grab it, quietly undo the poor bindings, pluck the ruby out, and put it back.
Okay.
She doesn't notice. She's falling asleep. She's clutching it, but she's clutching the arm.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Evil Ruby got.
Evil Ruby got. This is great.
Okay.
Now what?
Would I be able to swap the rubies?
Okay.
Put the Dreamlands one in there instead?
Sure, but you're going to need to make another thievery check.
Yeah. I don't have that juicy ass +1 anymore, so well I have 2 hero points. Hang on. Everything's turning up Alrik. I think he's gonna try to swap the rubies. And oh god. So it's gonna be another stealth check then?
Yes.
Oh, that was almost a nat 20. 26.
I was going to increase the DC by 5, and you bet I won, my friend. You take it off, you pluck it, and you replace the ruby that was atop your thing with this one.
Okay, cool. Sick.
And everything seems alright.
Oh no.
I mean, it seems alright.
Okay. Where's
Now
the
what?
butt?
Well, no, that's it. It seems okay.
Okay.
From what you can tell, it seems fine. She
Okay.
doesn't wake up. She doesn't scream at you. She's been giving you the cold shoulder, but she doesn't see you tampering with Miss Mosley.
Okay. Yeah. So he is then going to dip from the room quietly. And I think he's once he closes the door, he's immediately like investigating the ruby, like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
You can make me an occultism check if you so choose.
I shall.
You fully are not sure.
Fuck. Hmm.
It
Hmm.
might be the focus for some magic, but whatever it is, it's not good.
Well, Alrik probably pockets it and thinks, okay, magic item. I don't know what this is going to be for. I think he immediately thinks, I could probably ask Silk.
Uh-oh.
Do you want to make your way over to Silk and see what's up?
Yeah, Alrik, blissfully unaware of anything that is going on, goes,
La, la,
I need
la.
a second opinion. Time to go see my magic boyfriend.
You waltz down to Silk's house. Silk, there's a knock on the door.
Oh god. Oh no. Silk. Oh god. Silk gets up, and he.
It might be Nimbalot.
Surely not, right?
I mean, it could be Nimbalot is the thing. Like, as you're going towards the door, it's fucking ridiculous, right?
There's
that's
a moment.
stupid.
Hold on. There's a moment where Silk stops and he looks behind him and he like puts his hand up to his mouth and like gnaws on his knuckle a little bit. He's like, "No, right?"
And you open the door, and Nimbalot. Alrik is there, looking quite stressed.
Love, what are you doing here?
Sweetheart, hello. There was commotion at the there's commotion at the manor recently, and I think it has something to do with this. And he pulls up the ruby. This was inside the doll that I mentioned that was talking to Doriana.
Oh my goodness. he looks so overwhelmed immediately.
Yeah. For what it's worth, to describe it, it's like a big spherical ruby. Like those. It's like a big ruby ball, basically.
And
Silk
yeah.
grabs at it a little bit, not like grabs, but like kind of puts his hand on it, as if to take it away from Alrik to look at it himself.
And strangely enough, it is very identical to the Staff of the Dreamlands. I had to, last night I left it there to make sure that Doriana didn't have any more nightmares, and I think it worked. But however, she is giving me the cold shoulder. I think she hates me.
Oh, darling.
I
I was gonna say, I thought I recognized it.
yeah.
Come in.
I will say it was wet.
What
Why
do
is
you
it
mean?
wet?
Wet.
It's wet.
Why is it
What do you
wet,
mean
Alrik?
wet?
It's like it was in water before.
Alrik's like, well, it was like that when I picked it up out of the doll. I swapped it with the ruby for the staff, so I'm hoping that does something.
Oh goodness. Come, and he's like walking and talking with Alrik, kind of going up to his room where he would usually go to his library, but honestly, he's pulled most of his books into his room at this point. But he is like walking up the stairs, just kind of looking at it as he goes. He maybe trips once. But he's like,
Alrik, I think helps him. He's like, oh.
You put the Dreamlands ruby back into the doll?
I thought that it would be a counterbalance considering it was very identical. It called to me for a reason, I thought. And just so she wouldn't like go ballistic, I would say, for someone messing with a doll, because her dad did cut it open when I asked about it last night, which is why she probably hates me.
May have been him cut it open.
He forcefully took the doll out when I asked her to like pay attention to the bulge inside of her doll, and
Forcefully? Oh my goodness.
he was being oddly very aggressive with her, and
Huh.
I don't know why.
Interesting. You think it has something to do with this rock
I
stone?
was thinking possibly.
I have a few books I could skim through as I examine it, I suppose. I can't be certain on exactly what this is, especially if you're not. But you said it looks exactly like your Dreamland stuff. Stone.
Identical,
Interesting.
and
so kind of like walks into his room. He he puts the stone down and kind of slams the books that are open on his desk closed. Doesn't say anything about it. And he looks for one of his books on magic gems.
I want you to make me a occultism check. I don't think you find anything you can be entirely sure of.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is obviously with a cursory glance, but it just does not look like you find anything that looks like it could help right now. I think the two of you talk it over a little bit. Alrik, do you tell Silk everything?
yes.
Silk, do you want to make me a quick society check?
Okay.
Okay. There is one thing, Silk, that jumps out at you.
Hmm.
The number that was suddenly on Doriana's arm.
Was it 6115 or something?
61522.
61522.
I would now like you to write down that number.
61522. 61522. 61522. This is a date.
That's right. 61522, or the 15th of Serenet, 4722, the middle of next month, which you are rapidly approaching.
Alrik, what month is it?
It's just about the end of Desnus.
That's Fantasy May.
Thank you.
Well,
Alrik, these aren't numbers. This is a mark on a calendar. This is a date.
What?
This is the 15th of next month.
What? Okay. That's either a time limit. No, I can only think that is a time limit. Okay.
Doriana didn't know anything about this, did she?
I asked her about the bruises, and she said that all she told me was that she was okay, and she very much wanted me to just back off.
get off my dick, asshole.
Alrik, we have to ask her about this.
I've been trying to talk to her all day, and she is not having it at all. Well, she might not talk to me, but maybe... You think Fiore might be able to talk to her? Think
Having
she'd be able
Fiore do it is a much better idea than me doing it. I think that perhaps the most plausible course of action, possible even, is figuring out what this thing is. I'll need to spend time researching this.
Okay. I appreciate you immensely, and, Alrik, hugs Silk very close.
He kind of leans into Alrik.
I did say that she was like a sister to me, and siblings quarrel, don't they? Just haven't really experienced it myself.
I've never fought with my sibling.
Well, then you two must have a really good relationship.
The two of you hold one another close as you comfort each other. Alrik, you probably spend the night over and slowly let your eyes fall asleep. You're going to need to take care of Doriana, but until you are able to get back to talking with her, and maybe with Fiore's help, there is very little you can do. So for now, the two of you resolve to wait until morning, and maybe tomorrow things will start to get better. And until then, the Abomination vaults, the dungeon, awaits you. This episode of Dice Will Roll would not be possible without the support of our patrons. The Protease Inhibitor, Acid Dialogue, River Supports Artists, Put That Shit on Skibbity, Horrorfan546, Lightning Scar, Dr. Caesar MD, A Potato, Derpy Gamer, Quinlan Boss, Princess Alavi, Emily is Gay, Dexton, Meow Mai, Abigail Wallet, Night the Werewolf Teacher, Ashley, Actually a Bot, Violet, Soul Grace Lobo, Phoebe Jeebies, Daisy Gilliam, Lux Rexus, Baron Stormcrow, Sam Stryker, Tony Saunders, Mita, Arave, You've Caught the Eye of the Tiger, Ferric Falcon, Luis Loza, Aries, Alexander Crizzle, Mate Cohen, Skylee, Generally Tricked, Paul Punyon, Matthew Wilson Krasnovich, Tillen Shark, Glitch HD, Jace Snooks, Jonathan Love, G. Barbera, Luke, Gideon, Simon Strange, Seth, Kira, Lichelo, Gizmo, Cass, Fable McElduff, Ava, Rem T. Bright, Lonesome Chunk, Steph, Sean C., Natasha Lumley, Rhiannon C., Ellie, Jenna Mitchell, Kane Kendrick, Sky Evangeline, Triceratops, Anna Maria, Jordan, Emma Derna, John de Bocorder, and Dame Valerie III. If you'd like to see what you can get for helping us keep it rolling, check out patreon.com/diceroll today.